Hi again, everybody. I have a story here from Teresa. Your videos have been a source of validation for me, as many stories people so generously share relate to my own experiences from childhood memories up to now as a 50-year-old woman who has found a brief respite from the chaos going through no contact this past year, which once again have reared its ugly heads as the monstrous beast from Greek mythology, lacking maternal or parental instincts like Cronus devouring the Titans, ensuring his status is good and internal narcissistic supply. I love the twisted sense of humor one develops as a result of highly dysfunctional families, and the Memorial Day weekend story about Virginia and your mom going after her in the Blazer is legendary, woven into the town history as well as defining moment for the family. I think family culture and ancestry is also a factor to consider. For instance, according to a study of cultural heritage, and the ability to understand the differences in communication is an important part of what is referenced to as cultural intelligence, with Italians place in first place for loud, passionate, and gestural forms of everyday expression that I grew up with, but to outsiders have little exposure to us. The experience is often a lot to take in and out of their comfort zone. One major problem is the frequency of innocence lost and confused through inappropriate sexual behavior, and the frequency in which the mother is involved. One tends to consider her role as protector and not perpetrator or sexual deviant. Nudity was common in our house for both adults and pubescent girls that don't know how powerful and dangerous this practice is, making easy targets for sexual predators. The rules and messages from my family were inconsistent, and I finally realized nothing I did was ever good enough for them. Since I got severely punished and beaten, I might as well have been having fun. One time, my dad just snapped after dinner conversation about what I wanted to do for a living when I responded by saying I wanted to live by the ocean and sell my paintings. He chased me up the stairs and threatened to kill me. As I held the railing, he bit my arms with the intent of throwing me down the stairs. My friend had come by unexpectedly and was shocked to see the violent acts my father was capable of doing. I believe he saved my life. I wish I could thank him. Like many others in your post, my parents also would not let me start driving. I was bad enough without a car. I didn't learn to drive until my mid-30s. Both my parents were well educated. However, in spite of earning a PhD, they're two of the most jacked up individuals whom I've ever known. I'm sure my opinion of the value that was placed on academic achievements escalated my determination to get a job and be free. I even asked for emancipation after I dropped out of school at 14, but granting my request would have looked bad, and I was the perfect scapegoat. My mom is a cruel and calculating woman who delighted in eroding my self-esteem, including my weight, intelligence, and felt no qualms about expressing the fact that she did not think I was pretty and always had a stupid look on my face. At 17, I married and had two daughters. While I can never claim to be Mother of the Year, I will never understand how a parent could be as cruel and competitive with my daughters as she is with me. For many years, my friends and acquaintances all made the same observations about my mother's behavior towards me, stating she was jealous of me and competitive. But I was in complete denial as a mother of two daughters. That's impossible for any parent to have a hateful or deeply rooted desires of consciously setting up situations where you are the source of their entertainment, in which humiliation and gaslighting reign supreme. Perhaps the most despicable form of psychological punishment is the revelation of sexual improprieties by family members with whom she hasn't even been close to in decades, but plans to celebrate a birthday, including them to have coffee and cake, knowing full well that the event could have done a great deal of harm and triggered a panic attack, as I am still recovering from an assault which nearly ended my life. She did end up canceling the event, but the more I learned from youngest sister about what was going on behind the scenes, I felt betrayed by my mother and my middle sister, as and my middle sister, her flying monkey, as in spite of having to recount in vivid detail the truth about a violation and the painful words ripped through all my scars, and no one can surely understand how much damage one incurred by the major setback. Neither my mother nor the middle monkey have the courage to say directly to me that they think I am a liar. I have no respect for either the mother or the monkey, and the monkey confessed she really does not like me. I was truly clueless. When I dislike you, there's no doubt about how I feel honesty is the best policy, as George Clinton said. Free your mind as your ass will follow. I am at peace with no contact with my mother and father. However, as simple and straightforward the no contact boundary should be, my mother now lives in contact with my youngest daughter, whom is in her mid-30s and hasn't seen in at least 15 years, in spite of the fact my daughter lives in Moore, Oklahoma, and owns her own tattoo parlor located about a half hour from OU, where my mother teaches and is a counselor. Oh, your mother's a liberal college professor. Of course she is. Of course she is. How does she feel about the war on women? Because it seems like narcissistic liberal women are the biggest violators of the war on women, doesn't it? And it usually starts with their own daughters. I have heard two versions of this story, so take your pick as truth somewhere in between. The first version came from my sister Sarah, letting me know my niece Vincy was asked to contact my daughter as they were friends for lunch with my mother and return some of the artworks I have gifted to her over 2 decades. The work was displayed in a previous condo which was damaged in a fire, and they, Mom and her wonderful husband John, moved into their current location in Port Duncan on Monkey Island. I shit you not about the aforementioned Monkey Island. I recall asking her about the pieces as they were not displayed, and I thought they had been destroyed in the fire, and that settled the matter. I was and am still very concerned about the future safety of my daughter. She's endured enough family crap, including the misfortune of drawing me from the mom deck. As I mentioned above, I have 2 daughters, Alicia and Samantha. Alicia has 6 kids and 2 grandchildren, and Samantha has a son named Roper. So my mother has grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. She has never met and wouldn't know my daughters if they passed her on the sidewalk. My daughters are amazing young women, self-sufficient, strong, and smart, but it never ceases to amaze me how much my mother is able to sully the reputation of people who she doesn't know and couldn't even comprehend the substance and character which define the essence of who we are when you unzip that skin sack that allows the spirit a temporary place to dwell. Ollie, my mother is a malignant narcissist, not the sweet grandma Samantha is so desperately seeking a connection with in the best way to get a new supply and still fuck with me. I see her for what she is, but I fear what my child can't even fathom, letting her in, opening up a real life horror story, and she will devour all she wants without batting an eye. I hope you told your daughter that in those words. Your daughter's in her mid-30s. She's an adult. And I don't know how deep. It seems like they know there's problems. Seems like they've experienced family problems. Saying that your daughter drew you as a mother, you were 17. 17, married and 2 kids. It is way too young. Way too young to know what you're doing. It's 17. You're giving yourself too much. You're being way too hard on yourself for the age you're at. And remember who put you there. Your mother. Your own mother. Your own PhD, college professor, rape crisis, war on women mother who hates her own daughter. The hypocrisy of it all. The hypocrisy of it all. You need to tell your daughter in no uncertain terms. Okay, I don't care if you're 33, 35 years old. If you have a relationship with that woman, you will not have one with me. That is how strongly you feel about it. You can't bridge the gap. You can't balance it because you know what's going to happen. And you need to tell her, if you sit there and listen to that woman, she will fucking poison you. And then she will poison you to me, on me. And I've raised you since I was 17, and I wasn't the best mother, but I knew to get you away from these people. And I cannot have you walking right back into it. I can't have it for you, and if you make that decision for yourself, I will not have it for me. You're her mother, but you cannot parent her anymore. Especially when, if you try to parent her, it is going to drag you right back into what you've been trying to escape. You need to be clear and concise. You need to tell your daughter if she doesn't already know, and then you need to make it clear. You will not have a relationship with me, and as much as it would kill me, because it seems like you do love your daughter and your son, she has to understand you are going to a prison and pen paling a goddamn inmate right now. That's what you're doing. Talking, your children talking to the narcissist you are no contact from is the same as pen paling a fucking inmate. Lies, deception, pity me, it's not my fault, it's everybody else's fault. That's what happened. Do not let your children be the pen pal to the narcissist, because no contact is supposed to be their prison. Don't contact them. And you need to make it clear. You have a relationship with that woman or any of these flying monkeys or any of these people, you're not going to have one with me. That may be harsh, but that is what you need for yourself. Thank you so much for your story. I hope that helps. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you know what to do with the links in the description box, the PayPal and email links. I'll have the video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon.